Let's look at how the quantum mind heals the body, how it heals events, circumstances, and situations that we face. We are looking at the implications for understanding our human nature. And how have you so far understood your human nature as an expression of divine consciousness with the power to use your quantum mind or consciousness to send ripples into the field that obeys your mind, so that you can create your own reality and have dominion over the material physical plane? Are you now aware that you have the power to talk to and command yourselves in your entire body to heal and facilitate healing of your client's body? You have that mystical field within you that you can tap into and access and be an influencer of situations, events, circumstances with the energy of your mind or consciousness. And this mystical realm within each cell of your body defies classical laws and obeys your voice. And you are an expression of divine presence. When you speak to your cells, they hear and obey the voice of the divine presence that you represent. So today, we test firsthand what quantum psychotherapy is. And this is a consciousness-centered approach. As we understand our human nature, we are rising up to the opportunity of healing our body with our mind. Disease originates in the mind, and nothing appears in the body unless there is a mental pattern corresponding to it. We have the power to heal ourselves from any disease. And our consciousness can create or destroy any condition in our body. We can tap into this connection and unleash our inner ability to heal ourselves and to heal others. We can change all our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs to transform our health. Every cell in our body eavesdrops on our thoughts, and we heal when that happens. So as we heal our mind, we heal our body. And disease can't exist in a body that is at peace. And this is according to Wayne Dyer. So everything that happens in our life, everything that happens in our body begins with everything happening in our consciousness. And consciousness is a form of energy often referred to as life energy. And it's responsible for sustaining life in living beings. And when consciousness leaves the body ceases to function and goes back to the red rustic earth. So the physical body in this context, is considered only as a vehicle for the consciousness that animates it. Yet, our body is also an extension, a denser aspect of consciousness, and therefore reflects the conditions of the consciousness that it houses. Hello. So together, the body and consciousness form an energy system consisting of different densities of energy operating at different frequencies in a constantly changing dynamic relationship. You now know that we are each a spirit occupying a physical body, and we decide what to think, what to feel, what we choose, our perceptions, and our perceptions create our reality. And this energy field and our physical body are all in a state of balance relative to each other. When there is a sufficient change in the consciousness caused by a decision or thought or emotion or reaction, creating tension, the energy field and the physical body will come into balance with the change, and the symptom will appear as tension in the body, reflecting the tension in the consciousness. Therefore, can we say that all disease starts in the mind? We are all healers. And somewhere deep inside, we know that anything can be healed. And the natural state of our being is balance. Healing is a return to our natural state of balance and wholeness. While we acknowledge that physical causes can lead to illness or injury, it is important to also recognize that these conditions are often a result of the internal state of our consciousness. So, relying solely on external remedies without addressing the underlying psychological tensions that contribute to these physical symptoms can lead to a victim mindset. To achieve true healing and true happiness, one must start by acknowledging that everything begins in their own consciousness. And in this way, we also take responsibility for everything that happens in our body and in our life, and for what we choose to allow ourselves to accept into our consciousness. We are then able to remind ourselves of the degree to which we can create our reality. We also remind ourselves of our unlimited natural abilities and of the natural inner tools we already have and we always have had for healing and how to use them. Your breath can heal you. Your attention can heal you. So we remember that we can choose to respond to our environment in a different way, one that works better for us. So right now, understand that somewhere within you, you have available to you a state of consciousness in which you are in perfect balance on all levels, experiencing perfect health. And this is your natural state of being. And the physical structure is just a form of energy denser than the aura surrounding it. And by the physical structure, meaning a physical body. So we ourselves are an energy system composed of different densities of energy. And within a healthy, balanced individual, energy flows smoothly. Consciousness is able to respond successfully to each condition that it encounters. When we block this flow of energy through certain decisions, certain reactions to conditions and circumstances, and if the blockage has sufficient intensity, the effect is some symptom on the physical level. And all symptoms are reflections of blocked energy. When we unblock the energy through making a different decision or participating in healing and rebalancing the energy field, the symptom can be released. The symptom is a way to communicate a condition to us. When the condition is our consciousness is resolved, the symptom no longer has a reason to exist. And if there is tension in a specific part of our body, it can indicate tension in a particular part of our consciousness about a certain aspect of our life. The parts of our body that don't function well may reflect the parts of our life that are not working well. When we release tension from our consciousness about that aspect of our life, it can also be released from that part of the body. Where are you feeling tension in your body right now? Which part of your consciousness about that aspect of your life is being communicated to you through your body? Our body is always talking to us through these symptoms. And our body and consciousness and part of our life can then return to their natural state of harmony. All illness and injury are just a result of blocked energy. And since we direct consciousness or energy with our thoughts, we can unblock the energy wherever it has been blocked in ourselves or others using our thoughts. And doing that results in a return to the experience of wholeness. When we are in a state of consciousness where we respond to life's conditions with optimal effectiveness, we are in touch with our inner voice, our intuition, and we are listening to that symptom. And this is when we are being true to ourselves, healthy and happy. Our intuition speaks a simple language. Either it feels good or it feels not good. And it's widely agreed following our intuition always leads to success. Therefore, it's important to always do what feels good inside and avoid what feels not so good inside. Are you in contraction or expansion when you are listening to yourself? If we believe that we have a purpose in life, it must be something that feels right and motivates us to do it. We are here to be happy. We have to do what makes us happy and not do what makes us unhappy. This applies to all levels of our being. And we have to do what we really want to do, what feels good for us to do. We've been encouraged to listen to our conscience. When we ignore our inner voice, we experience unhappiness and tension. If we move in that direction that feels not good, we feel more resistance in our emotions, in our events, and what we wanted to happen might not move the way we intended it to. If we ignore our inner voice and continue to move in a direction that doesn't feel right, we will experience tension, which can manifest as a physical symptoms or attract negative experiences. On the other hand, if we listen to our intuition and do what we know we are to do, we will feel better and we will return to a state of harmony within ourselves and our environment. And it is important to pay attention to any physical symptom or negative experiences as they may be a result of not following our intuition from the beginning. And the end result that happens is the original intention. The experience we face is intended to achieve a certain end result. There are no accidents or coincidences to whatever it is that we experience. Everything starts in our consciousness, and everything that happens in the physical world is a reflection of what is happening in our consciousness. If an event results in a symptom, it happened to create that symptom. Whatever it is that I am going through, it has happened to create that symptom so that I can listen to that symptom, listen to my intuition, and see how to rearrange my consciousness so that I can heal my body and heal the event and circumstance and situation. Because the body sees it as important for us to receive a message from it that comes from our higher self, which we may have ignored at the level of intuition or emotion. And this means that symptoms speak to us in our own language. They tell us what we've been doing to ourselves, how we have been perceiving events. And this language reflects the idea that we create our own reality entirely. When we describe the symptom within this context, the significance of the symptom becomes apparent, and our body and the events we face communicate to us what we have been doing to ourselves with the very way of being we have chosen until now, and the intentions, the decisions we've been having in our consciousness. As a result, we may choose to continue with this same way of being or do something different. What will our choice be? One way of being can create a symptom, while another way of being can release that same symptom. So it is up to us entirely to decide our way of being. Once we understand the message our body is telling us, we and the events that we are facing, and make the necessary changes in our consciousness and way of being, we can bring balance and harmony to all aspects of our lives. And the symptom or event was only a way to convey a message, and it served its purpose. As per our beliefs and sensitivities, we can let go of the symptoms. We need to examine what was happening in our life when the symptom appeared. And our response to those situations created the symptom. Did we react to the situation, or did we respond to the system, to the symptom? So could you have suffered from a severe neurological condition that had prevented you from walking, or having half of your body paralyzed, or having severe headaches that felt like you were trapped in your mind? You were not living authentically, but rather trying to please others and meet their expectations. You were stressed and anxious all the time, and you neglected your creativity and happiness. So when we suppress our true feelings, they accumulate and affect us negatively. And this can manifest in part of our system that's related to being too rational up in the head and not following the voice in our heart. We aren't honest with ourselves or others about what we really want. So looking at your symptoms from the perspective that you are responsible for your symptoms, you realize that you are the one paralyzing yourself with fear, hiding the real you that was longing to express its true essence. And by doing that, you are hurting yourself deeply. Instead of saying that you were unable to walk, you have to admit that you were holding yourself back from moving forward. You were staying in situations that made you unhappy. To heal yourself, therefore, you have to change your way of being, to pursue your joy, instead of doing what you think you should do or what you think others want. You have to change your mental diet, the ideas you allow into your mind. Every thought that you had affected how you felt. Stressful thoughts cause illness. To heal yourself, you have to think thoughts that make you feel good. You have to own up to your situation and recognize that happiness is essential, and you have to do what brings you joy. You have to commit to the inner work that will enable you to trust that the symptom will fade away, and the result will be that the condition will be cured. You are healed. The important thing is to realize that anything can be healed, and the symptom in your body and the situations we face at the workplace, in congregations, or at schools, or in our churches and treatment centers. It isn't a question of whether or not it can happen, but rather one of knowing how to do it. When we understand the language of our body, we will be able to listen to the messages earlier and function fully in according with our inner being. At that time, it will be possible to no longer concern ourselves with healing because there will be no further need for us to receive the message through symptoms. So we will be able to function more and more from our center, from our heart, listening into our inner voice and doing what is right for us to do. We will be healthier and a lot happier. Ideally, we would not need any healing if we were always connected to our true self, to our higher self, and being authentic, being aware of our consciousness and its language, and acting consciously. While few beings on earth have reached this state of perfection and optimal functioning, it is also true that it's always accessible to us in any moment, including this one where we are at right now. So how do we reset our energetic body and heal ourselves? If we experience any symptom, we can be kind to ourselves. We can acknowledge that we are still learning and still working on ourselves. If we notice that the symptom is a recurrence of something that happened before, we will understand that we need to change something in our consciousness to prevent it from happening again. And we'll also know what needs to change. And we can choose to be reminded many times to be sure, or we can choose to get the message sooner, staying in touch with our inner guidance, intuition. Will we do what's required to free ourselves from symptoms and return to our natural state of being happy, abundant, whole, complete, worthy, deserving, enough, and healed? Because this is our birthright. And if the symptom involves some emotion because it affects our body, the healing might take longer, but it will still be much faster than leaving the symptom to be dealt with only by physical cause and effect reality. You can command your body to heal. How can we train our mind to heal our body? And talk to ourselves to boost our body's healing potential. The first thing to do is to take a look at our language. The language we use when we have these symptoms. I have got stress. I have got anxiety. You are now defining. And we act in a way that matches how we define ourselves. If we want to heal ourselves of a health condition or a situation we are facing, we have got to be aware of how we are discussing it. Do we say, money is scarce? I am not good on good terms with my boss. I have caught my blood pressure high today. Never prefix anything you want to heal. Reality is not fixed. It is dynamic. It can shift depending on how we describe it. Instead, we can say, I am creating a reality of infinite possibilities. I am having a harmonious relationship with my boss. My blood pressure is manageable. Never prefix anything with my, my, because my is an ownership word. My pressure, my diabetes, my cancer. We use my when we want to describe something that we want to own, and we are expanded by it. My beautiful wife, my passionate job, my healthy body. We will not own what we want to heal. My heavy debt at the bank, my accumulated bills, you are owning them and they might want to stick and stay around. Instead, we can use the word they instead of my. The bills, the pressure, the ulcers, the economy situation, the issues at work. Not my issues at work, not my economy system, not my cancer, not my bills. So our job is to make our thoughts positive and not think a negative thought. And we have to be very specific with language and learn to command and direct and instruct an outcome that is healthy. Because words and thoughts are blueprints our mind and body are working to make real. Whatever it is we say to ourselves, our mind will make it real. So Marisa Peer calls this DIC therapy, where D stands for directing, I stands for instructing, and C stands for command, code, compel, or conditioning our body to work the way nature intended it to work perfectly, properly, easily, and naturally. And we use our imagination to visualize the opposite of what we are threatened with. You are threatened with bankruptcy. Visualize abundance. So how does it feel like to have a healthy body? This is what you are visualizing when you are diagnosed with a terminal illness. How does it feel like to have a healthy body? To be able to make or to be able to save and multiply and invest money if you are faced with bankruptcy. Say that to yourself again if you are faced with lack and scarcity. How does it feel to be able to make money, save money, multiply money, and invest money? And if you are facing a relationship that is burning out and becoming rusty, you can say, how does it feel to have a healthy working relationship with my husband or with my boss or with my superior or with my supervisor? We use our mind and consciousness to direct, to instruct and command the field so as to create health and harmony from the infinite field of possibilities, either in our body or in our situations, circumstances, and events. So you are the commander of your own body. Describe the reality you want in detail right now. You can say, for example, my cells are receiving the dopamine created by positive words I say, and the cells are receiving a physiological upgrade, and cancer cells are in remission. My body is feeling more alive. Blood pressure is resetting. The gut is secreting healthy enzymes. I am oozing vitality and positivity. I hear my boss congratulating me. See it, feel it, hear it as you are saying it to yourself. And imagine what the realm of infinite possibilities is listening to as you are talking. We always manifest with whatever we say. For example, when you are still caught up in your situations that you are facing and you're always telling yourself, I knew that wouldn't work. Today I'm going to have a stomach ache if I eat rice. I will fall sick when the rainy season starts. You will manifest exactly that you are talking and describing about yourself and your health. But we can manifest better. We can either take the road of staying sick or the road choosing to have better health. Which road will you take? And the job of our mind and consciousness is to make whatever it is that we are thinking and whatever it is that we are saying real to us. Hello? So what will you decide to speak? We become our body's chemistry. Hello? We become our body's chemistry. Whatever it is that we are thinking and feeling oozes into our bodies. So we can talk to ourselves and they listen to our spoken words. And our emotions and thoughts and deep-rooted beliefs, which become our body's chemistry. And this body's chemistry doesn't just float around, but it lands in our cells directly, altering behavior of our biochemical bodies. So we can influence gene expression by changing the emotional and mental environment our cells are seeped in. And our inner voice is a powerful prescription. It is the most powerful prescription that you can have, your voice. Dolores Cannon says that we are the voice of God in form. And we speak to the body with love, with compassion, with attention, and it will listen to us. Negative thoughts generate low-frequency emotions that stimulate the stress hormone to flood our system. Empowering thoughts, on the other hand, stimulate dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, and other healing hormones, and our internal dialogue reprograms our biology. Every cell in your body is waiting It is always there waiting for you to talk to it, waiting for you to say and communicate with it in a way that rewires mind-body connection, in a way that ignites, in a way that unlocks the healing power without external drugs to just silence the symptoms. And our body is an intelligent ecosystem with over 20 trillion cells of innate healing design. And there is no need to know how this works. There is no need to memorize a magic formula. The body has its own intelligence that is self-regulating and self-reorganizing. So are we ready as we get to the end of this presentation to talk to our body, to command the healing of our own body using our mind? Close your eyes and decide to not use negative language about your health. Bring to mind all the negative language you have been using to describe the conditions and situations and events and circumstances that made it real and more unhealthy. Decide to change the language you have been using to describe these situations. Now imagine scanning your body from head down to the toes and notice where your particular issue is. Speak to your body now through your emotions, through your intentions, and through your thoughts. And you can say, "Dear body, I see the pain you've been carrying for me. You have kept me going even when I ignored and blamed you. I am listening to you now, dear body." And smile as you say that. I choose to stop fighting you. I release the need to control you. I trust your wisdom. I trust your rhythm. I trust your timing. You are working in my favor, dear body. And from this moment forward, we will heal as one. Now place your hand on the area of the body that needs healing as you speak these words. You are making a partnership with your body. And partnership occurs between your consciousness as your cells listen to the consciousness that is streaming through right now through the voice. Disease signals are quietening down. And healing is turning on and creating an energetic alignment within your body. Your body is now responding because it feels it's no longer attacked. It's no longer in stress response mode within. Now you can say 9 times. I direct, I instruct, I code, compel, and condition my body to work perfectly, properly, and I know it can. Say it to yourself within you 9 times. I command complete harmony, alignment, restoration of every cell in my body, so be it. And now specifically put in that issue that is disturbing you. It could be the digestive enzymes, it could be the nervous system, it could be the heart, it could be the lungs, it could be the uterus, it could be immunity, the bones or the brain or muscles or neck or teeth or eyes or ears or throat or the reproductive system or the hormonal system or the blood cells or the joints. Whatever it is, speak to it. I direct, I instruct, I command, I compel, condition, and code my put in that area to work perfectly, and I know it can. Now, as we end this healing session, remember that intention does not work alone without the energy from your emotions. Now, put some excitement, some passion, some conviction into your voice. The mind needs to be excited and turned on. The way you feel about everything depends on the picture you make in your head and the words you say and how you say them, the emotion with which you say them. All my good cells are attacking and defeating germs. My body is clearing damaged cells, making new ones. My body is slowing, aging, and protecting me against illness. I am well and hydrated. Blood pressure is perfect. The digestive system is awesome. The immune system is phenomenal. My body is under the protection of the divine mind. I reflect thoughts of health and vitality. The subconscious mind thinks thoughts that radiate healing to every cell of my body. Notice where we have used they instead of my. When you are ready now, you can open your eyes slowly and return into the chair or wherever it is you are seated. And you can do this regularly. And the ideal time to do it is in the shower or when you are in a meditative state. And as we start a new way of being, there is going to be resistance in our ego as we upgrade our frequency and ascend to a higher frequency. But this is normal. You don't have to worry about it. And this means that you will not give up. So the question I'm leaving for you this time is, what external situation or body sign are you experiencing as symptoms that need to be healed? Thank you for attending this presentation. I wish you a blissful night. Namaste. Thank you, and thank you.